Welcome to Qigong. Let's start off just in our Tai Chi Qigong posture. Feet in line with the hips, in line with the shoulders. And soften your ankles, soften your knees. Allow your tailbone to soften down. Feel your feet growing roots into the ground. And then lift up through your spine. Tuck your chin in. Feel that you've got a little star string lifting up through your head. So your spine is suspended. Soft arms, bring your shoulders up for a second and then just let them drop. Oh, little gap in the axilla, just big enough to put a squash ball or a golf ball in there, and a little bit of space at the groin. Just close your eyes or soft gaze, 45 down, and just have a sense of where you're starting from. Just very casually, just notice your balance, feet on the ground. Notice where your head is, just in general, if you're relaxed or still buzzing around in your emotions, your head, just settle into where you are right here and right now. Right, and bring your hands up just over the belly of your lower dantian and let your elbows be out slightly. And allow your breath just be long, slow, and deep. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose, just at your own pace, but really allow your breath to lengthen. Go down towards the belly, so as you breathe in, your belly rises forwards. As you breathe out, your belly goes back towards the spine. So long, slow, deep breathing, many benefits. It relaxes the mind, brings down your heart rate, gives you loads and loads of oxygen to go around the body. Our breath is our life. In and out through the nose. So we're breathing in, the diaphragm's moving down and it's pushing the organs, massaging the organs in the abdomen. And as you breathe out, the diaphragm goes up like closing an umbrella, and there's space in the organs. And then you're pushing, helping the heart to beat and the lungs to breathe as it goes up and down. So massaging all the organs as you do long, slow, deep breathing. So benefiting your whole body. We tend to live a lot in our heads, and just by focusing on the breath, we bring our minds back into the body. When we're in our minds back in the body, we live more in the moment. Right, drop your arms, and we're going to enliven the spine. So thinking spine going into rotation without a break. So you can just start with turning the spine and letting the arms just float with the movement of the spine. And then slowly bring your arms up, so they're knocking, the front one is knocking just under your navel, just under the lower dantian, and the back arm is knocking over your second lumbar vertebrae, but over your kidneys. So the acupressure points we're doing here are in front, called the Sea of Energy, and at the back called Ming Men, which is the door of life. So that sounds like really good places to waken up. So early in the morning, or if you're a little bit tired in the middle of the day, this is a really good exercise to do to get you awake, get a bit of energy back into your body and your mind. And you're turning through your lower spine and the hips, so you're mobilizing that area of your body. And we're knocking on the back over the kidneys. So knocking over the kidneys is very good to do in winter, where we are in South Africa, because the kidneys suffer a little bit from the cold. If you're in Memphis and Louisiana, probably not, and probably it's quite hard to maybe do this in Louisiana if it's so humid, so you might have to do it a little bit more slowly there. But you've still got a full day ahead of you, so that's great. When we're knocking over the kidneys, and we top of the kidneys is lying the adrenal glands, so you are stimulating the body to produce adrenaline and serotonin, which are our sympathetic nervous system hormones, but we actually want them during the day so that we're wide awake and we can pay attention. So this is not an exercise you want to do just before you go to bed. It's morning exercise, it's a wake-up exercise, it's when you get off the plane or before you get onto the plane to travel. It's a really good start of your day. And we're circulating all that oxygen that we breathed in earlier on. So let's go up a little bit higher to just below the clavicle where it joins onto the shoulder, called shoulder nest. You're knocking over your first and second rib. So you're mobilizing your thoracic, your chest cage. And this is very good for your immunity as well. So we're over lung 1 and 2 here. And we're still knocking over the kidney behind. It's going to keep you healthy through cold weather. And then one hand over the angle of the neck. We're knocking over trapezius here. The trapezius muscle is one of the muscles that has more trigger points than anywhere else in the body. It gives us lots of headaches. So give a good knock here to get a bit of blood coming into this area, soften it up a bit. Knocking over gallbladder 31, which in Chinese medicine talks about clarity of mind here. So if you're tight here, you've got a headache and you can't think very well. So get rid of the headache. It's like the clouds over the sun. Get rid of tightness in trapezius and you can see clearly again. Back down to shoulder nest, donk. So Clinton and I can be knocking really hard to wake up there. Okay. So we've done a good rotation through the spine. Let's go to dog wags his tail. So we're getting a side bend here. So nice and floppy. Start thinking about side movement through the spine, in the lumbar spine. And then bring your shoulders into it as well. And you're going to be getting a bit of side bend through your thoracic spine. And then if you can, try to get a little bit of movement through the neck, through your cervical spine. It's actually quite difficult to get them all going at the same time. And they can go in any direction. You know, kind of dogs wag their tails like that. It's a little bit difficult to do our spines as well as they can. All right, okay. So we've gone side to side and we've got roundy, and we're going up and down. So spinal cord breathing. Loose fists here. Bring your elbows up and round. Tuck your tailbone out like a duck. And then forward, separating your shoulder blades from each other and tucking your tailbone in. This is a breath in. Breathe in. Make a C in your spine there. Like a little duck, wag your tail. Opening your chest, space for your heart and your lungs. And breathe out. Opening, giving space to the heart and the lungs at the back of the thoracic cage. And breathe in. Breathe in through your nose. You could breathe out through your mouth here. And as we're doing this, we're pumping the cerebrospinal fluid up the spine, around the head. And the cerebrospinal fluid is what nourishes your central nervous system. So that's really good for us to do. And breathe out. It's a beautiful way. Just these couple of movements at the beginning of the day really sets you right for whatever is ahead. Breathe in, and literally can take you 10 minutes. And breathe out, come forwards. So turning, opening with your 3 elbows like a bucket handle, opening up of your rib cage at an angle and down. Breathe in and open, 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 open. And forwards and relax. Good. Shake your hands a little bit, maybe rub them. And we're going to do a bit of dragon work, just bit of dry washing of the hands and arms to wake them up. Okay, so dragon, we're going to do dragon with feet together here. It's actually quite good for the balance. And dragon work is very good for longevity and very good for the organs. Okay, hand palms together, and we're going to start with at the throat level here. Hands facing up, pushing the hands to one side and the head to the opposite side. Coming back to center. You can do a little bend of and straightening of your knees here. So I'm bending as I'm coming in. I'm straightening as I go out. So when you turn your head, let your eyes go in the same direction. That really facilitates your muscles. And come back. Breathing in and out through the nose. So you're pushing your hands away, but gently. So we look at soft power when we're doing Qigong. Hands down to the solar plexus, fingers facing forwards. Hips one way, hands the other way. Okay. And so the hands are going one way and the head and the hip are going in the others. Okay. Very good for your spine. Very good for your organs here. Then come down to the level of the lower dantian and your navel. Fingers pointing down and over to the side. Back. So it just kind of gives you the feeling of the direction we're going to take when the dragon really starts swimming. At the moment, he's just kind of waking up. Okay. Come up again. Now we're going to put your hands to the side. Almost lean your head on your hands. And we're going to circle around. We're scooping up the energy. I think this is probably a river dragon today. And around. And have sky dragons, earth dragons, and water dragons. So they're very versatile. And around. Go to the next level, down at your solar plexus here, around, scooping up the energy at that level into your solar plexus area, around. Do 3 of each. And around, coming in. Down to the lower dantian, and around. You can really bend your knees and go around, bring up that probably good water energy here, around, make a bit of a whirlpool. Around. And come up to center. 1. And come up to your throat area, and 1. And we lean onto the other side. So going around in opposite direction, coming back. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. Down to solar plexus, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Last one down to your dantian level. Coming back and around and coming back. 1 up to solar plexus and coming back. And the throat area and coming back. Right, now the dragon's really going to go for deep dive swimming, and you're moving your spine and therefore your arms go with. It's not like I'm moving my arms separate from my spine. It's the arms are freed up to move because of the rotation that's going through the spine. And it's a little bit of a free form here. You can swim wherever you like as a dragon now. Breathing as you need to, go right up. Feel your hips going, a lot of movement going through your waist, your neck. Have a deep dive. And coming up. Up through the water as you break in the surface of the water, coming right up. And now see if you can come up onto your toes or just lift your heels a little bit, balancing on your toes and being aware of your soles of the feet and being aware of the palms of your hand. And then slowly down. Let's do one more swim. Swimming. Just feel where your body wants to move. What part of you haven't you moved in this last week that you could swim it out? You know, once you get in water, you have that weightlessness that you don't have on land. So you have an opportunity to do all sorts of movements and combinations of movements that you don't normally do in your daily life. Your friends would probably think you're really strange if you came in, you were doing this kind of movement, but it's the best thing. Opening all the little nooks and cranny, every single joint needs to go through its full range of movement sometime during the day, otherwise we lose it. Round, and let's come up one more time. Be aware of what are your knees doing, what are your hips doing, what's your waist doing, what are your shoulders doing, elbows, hands, neck, right up. On your toes, again, feeling your palms, feeling that connection between the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. Coming down, but leaving your hands up there. Clasp your hands, just let your index fingers be together and your thumb facing up. We're going to do, it's called the arrow or the candle. And stretch up, tuck your tailbone in a little bit there, and then bring your hands behind your head. And as far as you're happy to come down into a kind of squat, you're younger than me, so you can come down further. Come down into very strong for your knees and your hips and your lower back. And then come up again. This is a breath in. Breathe in and stretch. Long, 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 long. Open up between your ribs and your pelvis. Drop your tailbone. Keep your chin tucked in. Breathe in and breathe out. Sink down. And breathe in. Up becomes long body. You know, people do Qigong, actually get taller. My sister, younger sister, was taller than me, and I'm taller than her. So I do Qigong, and she runs a marathon, so it makes sense. She's getting shorter, and I'm getting taller with Qigong stretches. And coming up, open your arms to the side and come down so that your hands touch on the ground. You can bend your knees here, drop your head, relax the neck, relax where the head joins onto the neck. Few breaths down here. And then hands together, interlock your hands, come up slowly, pushing away from the ground, pushing into the ground. Bring your hands all the way up. Dropping your tailbone, chin tucked in, long spine, lengthening from the top, dropping down at the bottom. Breathe in and breathe out and over to the side and open the spaces between your ribs. You're really pushing the air out of the one side and you're opening up the other side. So you get a lot of good breath in. Breathe in and come up. And to the opposite side. Open the other side. You might find one side of your rib cage is much more supple than the other. And come up. Arms to the side. Thumb, first and second finger together. Bring them towards your face there. We're going to do a little bit of movement for the neck here. Tuck your chin in. Breathe in and just drop your ear down towards your shoulders. Soft shoulders there. Good. Stretching between the neck and the arm there. And coming up, breathe in. And breathe out to the other side. Now see if you can just look back. So you're stretching the front of your neck here. You'll be stretching your scalene muscles, the front muscles there. And then take your chin and drop it to the opposite side, and you'll be treating these levator scapular muscles, or the muscles that help to lift your shoulder, and your head hangs off there. Come back to center. Breathe in. Opposite side, drop over. And look up and behind at an angle. Feel the stretch in the front of your neck. And then turn. Look down. Feel the stretch in the back of your neck as you do that. Bring your head back to center and drop your arms. Right, just move a little bit there. Okay. And just do one more before we go on to our flowing movements. So we're going to just clear, actually stretched a lot of stuff, moved a lot of stuff. Let's just clear any tension in our body, any stuff that's plugging our clarity of mind, and any stuff in our emotions that we just need to let go because we no longer need them. Make space for something new. So tiger, sitting in the grass, so tiger claws up here, open them, a little bit of cupping of your hand there. So big breath in. Take any stuff sort of in your biomagnetic field around your body, up there. Take it. If you don't need it, just down to the ground, coming down and squat and give it into the earth. Compost it into the earth. Back of the hands together. Breathe in. Big breath. Tiger's very, very, very strong. It really likes to stretch. So as we embody the sense of the animal, we can feel that power they have. And a tiger's very strong and courageous. And I don't think it takes much nonsense or courage, much nonsense around with him. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Feeling that you're just clearing that field around you, that there's any stuff lurking there that you don't need emotionally or mentally or physically in your muscles. And you're going to come up and cross palms here and make your best tiger growl. And that's your space. So this is your space. You're protected within the space. And it's your decision whether people or ideas can come into the space. They've got to knock on your space and say, can I come in? You can say, no, actually, I don't need this. Okay, and relax and shake. Okay. So we did last week, we did some work from Mimi Kudima, who has a lovely set of animals, and taking the embodiment of that animal for different times of the year. So in the old ancient times, they looked up at the sky and they noticed that in the different seasons, there were different shapes of animals up in the stars. And they interpret that to be like the snake and the dragon and the bear. And today we're thinking about the turtle or the tortoise, actually interchangeable in Chinese language, okay? And the tortoise represented the black warrior of the north, wintertime, water. And the turtle is seen as the animal that helps us to protect ourselves from the negative influences that come to us. So we're getting negative influences from the news all the time. We're getting negative influences from all sorts of things, people, events. And like the tortoise, to have the shield to protect us against these negative things. And also like the tortoise, to have the endurance to slowly still keep going forwards, even though this is all happening. And somehow, because the tortoise has got a shell, it's like having a place of safety within you where you can still be safe and move through the world, even though there's such a lot of negativity around you. So we're going to do 2 of the spirit turtle movements today. The first one is the black turtle emerging from the water, and the second one will be the tortoise or the turtle entering his shell. So welcome to turtle. It's actually a lovely movement. So when we're doing the turtle, if we're thinking about having a shell, you want to think about your back being able to take that shell. So when we do the movement, you want to drop your tailbone under. It's almost like you're allowing your pelvis to be a bowl. I mean, I think pelvis does mean wash basin in, what would it have been? In Greek, in the old days, probably in Greek, yeah. So as if we could hold a ball in here. So instead of your pelvis dropping forwards, it's actually going to turn up. So just feel the lengthening of your lumbar spine and the rounding of the pelvis, so that that could be where the bottom of the tortoise shell is sitting. If we're thinking about the top here, what we need to be able to feel is the rounding here. Okay, so we do a lot of exercise like this in Qigong, but when you're a turtle, you actually need to come inwards for your safety there. Okay, that's, hey, you know, I'm out there in the world and this is, hey, I've gone back into my shell. I need a bit of safety. So let's just do this a couple of times where we breathe in, and as we breathe out, we separate the shoulder blades from each other and we draw inwards. So just try that a few times. Breathe in and breathe out. And at the same time you're doing that, allow your tailbone to tuck in so you're getting that lovely rounded shape, which would mirror the big tortoise shell or shield on top of it. Breathing out. Breathing in an opening, that would be tortoise, coming out of the water, and breathing out. Okay. So tortoise has also got little flappy feet, so just think about your flappy turtle feet, or your tortoise feet. Let them move around a little bit there. And apparently tortoises, I didn't know that, apparently tortoises, or turtles, not tortoises, turtles, when they meet each other in the water, they sometimes their little hands go to each other. So you can try that just on your own face. Make you feel a little bit more turtle-like before we start turtle. Okay. All right, let's go. So turtle emerging from the water, so taking a lunge position here. And you're going to be bending your knees, bend your knees to go back, and you're still going to have a bent knee when you go forwards. So you're going to be rocking forwards and back. So as you rock forwards and back, feel how you're getting that rounded shape in your pelvis. And it's quite a nice idea to, when you're thinking of bending your knees, think of sinking the hip. When you bend the knees, sink the hip and round, then you really get that lovely rounded shape there. So just do that a couple of times. All right. So turtle emerging from the water, coming forward, you float your arms up. Feel as if your hands on a piece of driftwood. So you go back, coming back, keeping your pelvis rounded, and you can emerge from the water. Your chin come up. Arms float out as if they've driftwood, coming back. We'll do 6 on each side. Imagine you are a turtle. Keep that rounded pelvis. Feel that immersion, floating back in the water with your hands. Coming out of the water and changing feet. Just feel the forwards and back first. Get your feet in the right place. Don't let your body be hurt anywhere. Just do it within your own limits. Turtle is about feeling safe. Floating your hands up. Hands floating back as if they're on a piece of driftwood on the water. Breathing out. Breathing in as you go back. Bring the other foot forwards, and we allow your hands to come over your belly. Think about the soft belly of the turtle, the dantian here. And so the last exercise was the active turtle emerging from the water. And the next one is the turtle going into his shell. So now this one's going to be very quiet and passive movement. It's still a movement, but it's very quiet and gentle. And you quiet and contemplative, I would actually think. Feel where your pelvis is. Remember, you want it rounded, so you could actually maybe have a beautiful golden jewel in here or something, a pearl in here. And with your hands, you're going to feel your tortoise shell. Now, in the old days, prehistoric tortoise head was about 4.5 meters in size. So being aware of your shell, your shield of protection, keeping your pelvis rounded there, allowing there to be space between your shoulder blades. Feel the roughness or the smoothness of your shell. Feel the inner safety of the cell, of your shell. You can straighten your legs a little bit as you go up, and as you come down, you can have a very slight bend. Close your eyes as you feel your shell. Keeping your back safe here as well. Remember, it's not just the sides, it's at the back of you as well. The protection against the negative forces that are thrown into your life from time to time. Knowing that you've got a safe place. Maybe you feel your shell growing. Mine is growing. Every time I go up, it gets bigger. So I've decided, and this is a water element, so water element is good for winter. But where we are in the world right that I'm happy to do the black turtle every single day. I think a few minutes spent on black turtle would really help us all. Coming back to center, hands down onto the dantian, over your belly, feet a little bit closer together, and notice how you're feeling, just being aware of whatever feeling or hearing. And then just finishing off with a gathering just of peace and courage and the sense that you have this inner safe space. We talk about, quite like the exercise, we talk about working with our Wei Qi. Our Wei Qi is the space around us. It's our outer immunity. And it's not just a physical immunity, it's a mental immunity and emotional immunity that we need to strengthen as we go through our lives. And coming down, hands on your belly, close your eyes for a second. Just finish with standing posture called wind in bamboo. Just notice the sounds inside and out. Maybe your heart beating. I've got birds outside. Temperature of the air on your skin. Allow your face to soften, your little turtle face to soften. And slowly drop your hands. And open your eyes. Just step back into wherever you may be. And thank you for coming to Qigong.